Hey tech lovers, how's it going? Today we're going to take an in-depth look at the Dreamy pool cleaner robot Z1, a robot designed to automate pool cleaning. Both on the bottom and on the walls, even on the water line. If you have pools, you know that keeping them clean can be a demanding and sometimes tedious task. That's why these kinds of devices can make a difference in your daily life. Let's take a detailed look at what this model offers, how it works, and whether it can really make your life easier. I'll explain everything in today's TechGround video. Let me give you some context about Dreamy, which is a well-known brand in the smart cleaning sector, with a solid track record in robots, vacuum cleaners, and home solutions. Their expertise in motors, sensors, and connectivity, now they're bringing that expertise to the pool sector with this Z1, a product designed to provide autonomous and efficient cleaning, as well as adaptability to different types of pools. If you're interested in technical analysis and real-world tests, I invite you to subscribe, leave a like, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our reviews. Now, I encourage you to leave any questions or experiences you have with pool cleaning robots in the comments so we can all share them together. Now let's get to what we like. Let's do the unboxing. Opening the Dreamy Z1 box, we find the Z1 pool cleaning robot. The first thing we see on the top is a hook, so you can attach it to an extension pole and take it out if it runs out of battery. At the bottom, a magnetic charger simplifies charging and eliminates complex connections. A microfiber cloth for maintaining the robot itself, a user manual, and a quick start guide. Additionally, it has a removable filter for collecting dirt, and the packaging seems to be sturdy, and each item is well protected, which gives a good first impression of quality and attention to detail. Do you have any preference on how a robot like this should be presented? Leave it in the comments, I'd be very interested to know. Alright, let's move on to the design section, and the first thing I'm going to talk about is the size. It has approximate dimensions of 43 centimeters in length, 40 centimeters in width, and a height of 28 centimeters. And it weighs about 8.6 kilograms. It's not light, but things always weigh less in water. As you can see, the chassis is made of plastic materials. They seem to be of very good quality with a very good finish. And the color is distributed between a silver gray that we have on the top, shiny like this, and also in the central module where we have the turbines and the buttons. It's in a glossy black finish. The ergonomic handle on the back allows you to remove it easily by hand and also on the bottom. We can already see the tracks, which are the wheels that allow the device to move around the pool, and the chassis, also in a black finish. On the front, bottom, and back, we find the two rollers, which are ultimately used to scrub and clean the floor and walls of our pool. And we can also find along the device on the left side and at the back, the LiDAR and infrared sensors for proximity and mapping of the device in our pool. If we turn it over on the bottom, we see that the front and rear rollers are divided in two. They are rollers that are kind of independent, but they're in the same block and down in the center. Right here in this part, we have the cavity, so it can absorb and in this way suck up all the dirt that gets cleaned up as the device passes by. This is in terms of composition, design, and distribution. But remember, at the top in the black area I mentioned, we have the control buttons, the power button to turn on the device, and when we press it, a blue LED strip will light up in this part right here. And with the other button, the big button, which is designed so you can touch it with wet hands without needing to dry them, with this second big button here with 3 dots, we can choose between the different cleaning modes. We have the option for the floor, the option for floor and walls, the option for just walls, and the option for the water line. That is, we will have 4 programs available that we can choose manually if we don't want to use the app. We'll discuss that next. Of course, in front of these buttons, we see these 2 circular grills where the motors will be located underneath. They are brushless motors with quite a bit of power, which will provide both suction and thrust, which is basically the propulsion of the machine. If we move on to talk about the technical specifications, we will have a maximum coverage of up to 180 square meters of pool surface, an approximate autonomy of 4 hours of continuous operation, and a charging time that will be between 4 and 6 hours. It's a device that uses a lot of energy and takes time to charge. The suction capacity will be 30 cubic meters per hour, which is roughly equivalent to about 500 liters of filtered water per minute. The filter has a capacity that I haven't mentioned before. We press here, open the front hatch and remove the filter. It can handle particles up to 180 microns. Also, it's important to note the two brushless motors which deliver stable, long-lasting suction and propulsion. Brushes, as I mentioned, two double brushes front and rear that work in parallel to remove dirt and scrub the bottom of our pool. It has different sensors, as I mentioned, a LiDAR sensor, ultrasonic, infrared and side sensors so that mapping and obstacle detection are accurate. In terms of connectivity, it has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, so we can control it from our app. The cleaning modes are, as I mentioned, bottom, walls, waterline and complete cleaning. An important aspect is its compatibility with pools of any shape and any type of material. Rectangular pools, round pools, irregular ones, kidney-shaped pools, any type of pool. Even materials like vinyl, tile, concrete, fiberglass and so on. It also works with both fresh water and salt water. The Z1 uses Pool Sensei technology to automatically recognize the shape and type of pool, adapting its routes for any kind of cleaning. An initial mapping will help us after the first cleaning. The robot also optimizes its routes to cover the entire surface efficiently, minimizing repetitions and thus saving battery. The advanced navigation system with LiDAR and ultrasonic sensors will allow it to detect edges, steps, platforms and obstacles. Even the typical skimmers or grates that we have in the pool. This way it adapts its movement to clean, even in pools with irregular shapes or protruding elements, as I was just telling you. You can control the cleaning directly from the robot itself by pressing the buttons and selecting any of the 4 available modes, or from the mobile app, where you can also schedule automatic routines, adjust suction power, and check the cleaning history. I'll tell you about how it works and the user experience now because we're going to put it in the pool to see how it works. Alright, now we have the Dreamy Z1 updated. Let's see, now it should let us in. We have 83% battery. It came with 17%, so I couldn't update it because it requires at least 30%. But now we have it updated. We have 83% charge, which I think will be enough to run the tests. And let's see what we have inside the app. As I was saying, the app is very similar to all the other Dreamy devices. They share the same interface. Here we see the main screen, which is where we have access to the device and all the settings. We have the device section at the bottom, forum, store, and the personal section where we can share controls via bot, git, and so on. So let's go into the device. And when we enter, we can already see that up here, they're giving us some tips. Let's say some small guidelines to be able to work with the assistant, and in cleaning settings, we have all the programs here. We have the standard, floor only, walls only, focused only on the waterline, and complete, which will do absolutely everything. By going into settings, we can select eco, standard, or power mode for each mode. Regarding the suction power finish. And also the cleaning times. That is whether it will clean once or if it will clean several times. Will it do 2 passes instead of 1? One in an S shape and another in an S shape, in an N or M shape, whatever we want to call it, okay? I'm going to set it to standard and do it once to see how it works in different programs. What we're going to do right now is run the standard program, the full one. I confirm it and we're going to hit start. And now it tells us to put the robot in the water, so I'm going to put it in like this. I put it in here and I tell it the robot is in the water. The robot is going down, it's probably charging right now. The motor's bubbles are already starting to come out up here. I'll move the camera so we can see together. Well, I had pretty much finished cleaning already, which is the back part. We're going to go check the work log. I stopped it after it had gone around several times and only had a little left. The office is about 50 square meters. Here we see it had already cleaned 46 square meters. In 67 minutes in one cycle, it has managed to purify 33,475 liters in those 67 minutes and 46 square meters. Consuming 31% of energy, I estimate it will use about 35 to 40% just for the pool floor. And now let's look at the walls. I'm going to set it to wall mode, only so we can also see the difference, and let's see how it works. This type of cleaning, I'm going to set it here as well, custom cleaning. Before I had it on standard, now I'm going to set it to walls, just the configuration here. And once I hit confirm and start, it tells me to put the robot in the water like before. So let's drop the little guy in, and now it should automatically start positioning itself and recognizing the environment. Just like it did before. It made a pass, basically around the entire perimeter. Then it started zigzagging this way and then zigzagging the other way in the opposite direction. Let's see how it behaves and affects the walls. And then we'll take out the filter to see if it really cleaned and did its job of sucking up all the dirt from the tile, which is the material of this pool. I'll tell it that it's already in the water, so it should start working now. I'm going to move the camera a little so you can see it. It says the task is complete and fully cleaned. We press, okay, we're going to set it manually, so it starts working and we let it go. And this way, we'll have the option to make it work either manually or remotely through the app. So let's let it do its job, and in the meantime, let's relax, okay? I have already finished the floating cleaning task. We have done different tests. We have carried out the cleaning tasks for the bottom walls and the buoyancy lines. As you can see, it's already up here, 13,308 liters. It filtered in 27 minutes and used 17% of the battery. We tap understood, and now we can remove our robot, let it release a bit of water. And now it's time to see how the filter looks. I'm gonna grab the filter, I'll leave my phone here, it's been working all day, I'll bring it over here so the camera can see. Look at the amount of dirt it has scraped up. And that's even though the pool was supposed to be clean. Pretty much every week the amount of dirt it manages to pick up and accumulate stays about the same. And that's it, just give it a quick rinse, which we're going to do right now to clean it, put it back together and let it get back to work. This one from Dreamy. Honestly, I was really surprised by how much dirt it was able to pick up from the bottom and the walls of the pool. As I told you, we already have the filter here. You just need to rinse it with some water and start removing all the dirt. Down here is the system where all the dirt was being drained. So let's rinse it with some water. Look at that clump of dirt. I don't know if you can see it on camera. And now we have our filter clean and ready to use again, and we can clean it as many times as we want, since this will last forever. Well, you just need to come and put the filter back in its place. And it's ready to clean again and again without us getting our hands dirty at all. We've spent all day working with the Dreamy Z1 robot, and it has honestly surprised me. It's very efficient, has a very simple setup, and can be controlled both remotely with the app and manually, which makes it very versatile. And I could say that it's one of the vacuum cleaning robots that I've enjoyed testing the most, and I think it really has good performance and serves its purpose well. And it can give us that automation and also the peace of mind of being able to do other things while it works. While the robot really does clean our pool, since it has different modes. As you've seen, we've cleaned the floor, the walls, the water line, and we can also customize that cleaning and routines within the app. Well, as I was saying, it's gonna give us a pretty balanced maneuver in every way. Its price right now on their website is around 729 to 750 euros. They're on sale. Prices usually start at about 1,000 euros. But now, during Prime Day, from July 8th to 11th, you can take advantage because we'll probably have some very juicy and attractive discounts. If what you really need is a cleaning robot for medium and large-sized pools, one of the things I should highlight is that it climbs walls very well, even on the steps. Something that really caught my attention and something I would miss is that it doesn't have real mapping. Just like we do with vacuum robots at home, it would be great if they included that in the app. And that we could clean by zones in case we have an area that's a bit dirtier or whatever. Basically, it does the recognition every time we put it to work, recognizing the perimeter to get a location and dimensions for mapping. and then it starts working very efficiently. We have two options, as I said earlier, the simple one which does a single pass and the complete one which does multiple passes. So it's more like a deep cleaning. And of course also the different power modes, eco power, normal power and ultra power, so it can suck up even more. As you've seen in the test, the filter came out full of gunk. It's a pool that's very well maintained, but even so, since it cleans so thoroughly with its front and rear rollers, you've seen that it delivers really good results. Is it recommended? Absolutely. It's very affordable. So leave a comment if you like this type of robot, if you've tried something similar, or if you'd like to know more about this Zeta. The one we have here in today's video, of course in the description we leave the link so you can access the marketplaces. And as always, thank you for being there. See you in the next Tech Crowd video. See you soon.